Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, Mr. Danladi Kifasi, the head of civil service of the Federation, is our guest on Question Time. Now, in terms of reducing the cost of governance and cost of administration, the last administration announced plans to withdraw overseas training. How do you see the impact of this on the public service?
Well, I rose through the rank, and in the past, we've always gone outside Nigeria for training programs. Most times, you find officers not paying good attention to the training programs. You see trainers, Nigerian trainers, carrying their programs to Dubai, South Africa, even nearby Ghana here. Exporting what? Employment. In fact, exporting the revenue of government that would have accrued by way of tax is exported. It depletes our foreign exchange because you have to go with foreign exchange. So all that made government to say, look, we can't continue to live like this. We need to encourage our local industry, our trainers. At least this local training we're doing now, we are empowering local traders, the stationery providers, the people that will provide food, accommodation, transporters, who will be ferrying our staff up and down, will be benefiting. So the multiplier effect is huge. Then, of course, government, those companies who are participating in this training program will be paying their companies' income tax, contributing to the revenue of government for infrastructural development.
Now, it's on record that there was a massive resignation of highly experienced hands last year, senior civil servants who retired. Are you feeling the impacts of this mass exodus of highly skilled manpower in the service?
Well, if you lose quite a number of your good hands, you will feel it. But the most important thing is, whatever you have now, improve it to fill the gap. Since we have been able to run the service without problem, I believe that the impact of the exit isn't significant enough to impact negatively on the performance of the service.
Let's go back to the mode of operation and the service. There is a wide allegation that some officers bribe their way, they lobby their way to get juicy postings. What's your take on this?
Anybody who has any substantive evidence should go to the appropriate law enforcement agencies that are all over. We have ICPC, we have EFCC, we have the police, we have SSS. So anybody that has any iota of evidence should do so. I find it laughable because I'm a product of merit. I never bribed anybody to be promoted from director to the level I am.
Are you aware of such allegations of people lobbying their way to get preferred ministries?
We hear, but anything you cannot substantiate remains what it is, rumor. So if anybody makes an allegation, he should bring it forward. You see, under the rule of law, everybody is pronounced innocent until proven guilty. And he who alleges has the burden to prove. So anybody that makes such an allegation should bring evidence. Finish. Simple. It's as simple as that.
Are there juicy posting in the public service?
Honestly, I don't understand. I don't understand what people mean by juicy, but for me, I served in the office of the Accountant General, I served the Minister of Agriculture, I served the Minister of Justice, I served the Minister of Youth Development, I served the Minister of Aviation. The overhead that is released to ministries is very, very small. That to to consider it as something juicy is amazing. You know, we have expenditure thresholds in the service. There is the level that the permanent secretary has to approve. If it is beyond that, it is escalated to Ministerial Tenders Board. If it is beyond the Ministerial Tenders Board, it is escalated to the Federal Executive Council. So, if the juicy is to talk about the opportunity that somebody gets into having access to government resources, then you find out that the structure is so laid that no individual commences a transaction and ends it. It has to take collusion. And once a condition exists that for you to take resources of government, you have to collude with one or two people, the chances are that you may at one point in time disagree. And then, of course, get exposed, and then you face the consequences of the law.
Has the office ever come under such pressure, any pressure to get a preferred ministry by some public servants? Do you come under such pressure? This might not be limiting to just you alone, but has it come to your notice, maybe probably through your aides of public servants lobbying to get juicy posting?
They don't even come. They don't even come. Even I must say that when we were conducting the examinations for the appointment of Accountant General, that was the first assignment I did with the new president. A number of them went to traditional rulers to lobby, and I was invited by some of them. When I explained the process today, they said, it's good. But you know, we are traditional rulers. When our children come to pray, requests of us, we must be seen to be listening. Go and do the right thing. And of course, the caliber of the panel, interview panel, was former heads of service, like Alhaji Gidado Idris, Mr. Abobe, Chief Abobe, Aman Pepu, Engineer Bello Keke. These are the people that sat. Gwani Aji is one of them. These are the people that sat and took the decision. And of course, the chairman of Civil Service Commission is a member, EFCC, a member, SSS, a member, ICPC, a member. These are the people. And the head of service himself does not mark script and does not award marks at the interview. So you can see that anybody attempting to give money to anybody will have just wasted his money. And we don't encourage it because they understand, they know. But you know, when they fail, they have to seek for justification to explain to people, oh, the reason why I didn't get through because I didn't have the resources to give. And I'm glad today that the Accountant General said the balance they have as their overhead in Ministry of Solid Mineral, where he was served just before he became Accountant General, this is the figure. So if that is all that the ministry had in their account, why would he have gotten the money to buy?
Are you also ensuring asset declaration of an average public servant?
Yes.
Do you ensure every public officer?
In fact, I have just discussed with the chairman of the commission to either visit him or he should send his team here so we can discuss the possibility of getting the forms across to us so that we can distribute it to our civil servants for completion.
Before we wind down this conversation, what's your vision for the public service in this present dispensation?
The vision of change. The only constant is change. I recognized that in my inaugural speech, and the change is already taking place by the programs that I planned and I'm already implementing. The remaining leg is that of performance management system, which I hope will soon come on board.
Mr. Danladi Kifasi, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Question Time. Thank you very much indeed. And that's as much as we can take on this episode of Question Time. You may also send us a comment on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Join us next week on another exciting episode of the program on Channels Television. Many thanks for watching. I'm Benga Ashiru saying goodbye.